10 seconds remaining.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
5 seconds
boys
remaining.
and girls, to the StarLadder I-League Invitational Season number 4
Radiant
CIS
team pick
Qualifiers. We have semifinal matchup number 2 coming at you. What is Team Spirit taking on Gambit Esports here? And now this best out of 3, the winner will move along to face
Radiant team
Empire,
buff.
who is currently
Drow
waiting in the
Ranger.
finals. That is now set to take place tomorrow. So things did get pushed back, postponed a little bit, obviously with several other qualifiers going on, including the ESL event. They've had to work with some scheduling conflicts, but that's why you got semifinal number 2 today, and then again the
10
finals
seconds
at this time
remaining.
set to be tomorrow. So just a quick of what to expect
5
right there.
seconds
Anyways, we got this one best of 3 ahead of us here. I am Breaky CPK, and going to be joined by my co-caster who's been enjoying this journey with me so far, Tsunami, for Spirit versus Gambit. How's it going, man?
Yeah, I have been enjoying this journey, but I've also been paying attention to the other journey that these teams are taking. You did mention how they were, I guess, preoccupied yesterday for their originally scheduled qualifier time, but that's because both of them were participating in that ESL Genting qualifier that you mentioned. However, they both ended up dropping out in the semifinals. Spirit got 2-0'd by Na'Vi, and
Radiant team
Empire beat Gambit 2-1.
That's right,
And
yeah.
so both these teams are definitely
team back.
looking for a grand final now
Radiant
that they
team
got
pick.
closed out of the ESL minor. And whichever team wins this best of 3 series will go on to face the winner of the previous semifinal that we saw, which was Team Empire beating out Vega Squadron.
Exactly. So good recap there of what's been so far. And
10
again, a straight-up
seconds
single
remaining.
elimination tournament. It's a very simple format. 8 teams are in. Single elimination.
5
Ultimately, we have
seconds
one
remaining.
team advancing on. So trying to find out who that one team's going to be by the time tomorrow comes. All right, we got drafting to talk about, though. Let's start getting into it. We have the Sand King first pick, a Shadow Demon Omni Knight coming out in response here from Spirit. And now Drow Ranger picked up from Gambit. We've seen a little bit of Drow here in this event specifically, but Drow, always a fun strategy to see. A second pick Drow, mind you. Very early Drow Ranger strategy here.
Yeah, it almost feels like a little bit of a denial pick because in the first series, Team Spirit played in this qualifier versus Namiga. They had run Shadow Demon Drow in both games, and they had won in both games. So it seems like that's a bit of a favorite strategy for Team Spirit. And one of the drafts that they had picked the Drow Ranger second, so they quickly got that synergy. But this time they went for the Omni Knight second pick, and then
10
I'm
seconds
guessing that this is a denial pick from Gambit. It seems too perfect to pick a Drow Ranger in the first phase like that.
Yeah.
Especially whenever we haven't really seen Gambit run a Drow strat of their
Dire
own.
team pick.
Oh, very likely, but man, we're starting to fly now. We had a Earth Spirit into the Witch Doctor pretty quickly, and all of a sudden the Brood Mother coming out from Team Spirit. So that's pretty confident fourth pick right there from the side of Spirit. I guess if you're going to be going up against a Drow strategy, getting some
10
objective
seconds
push
remaining.
yourself could be a way to make them fall back, perhaps, with that idea.
5
But
seconds remaining.
we haven't seen a Brood Mother yet. I don't recall here in this event. Again, just speaking to these qualifiers. So it's fun to see this hero every once in a while, I guess. But Spirit going to try to rely on her to win game number 1 here.
Yeah, looking like it's going to be a Phobos Broodmother. Broodmother was a hero that received marginal nerfs in that most recent 7.07D
team
patch.
back.
The Spiderlings used to have basically the same vision as a hero, maybe a little bit reduced. It was like 1100 during daytime and 800 during nighttime. And in 7.07D, it was nerfed to be a flat 700 vision at both day and nighttime for the Spiderlings. So nothing too significant.
10 seconds remaining.
The hero is
Dire
still
team
kind of
back.
as randomly picked as she was when she had the invisibility inside the webs, so it doesn't really seem like too much has fundamentally changed about how you play her. I guess she's a little bit more combat oriented, whereas in her old Invis web kind
10
of
seconds remaining.
play style, it was a little more lane domination, and then you just kind of park
5
yourself in one
seconds
lane for
remaining.
like a good 20-25 minutes into the game. But I've been seeing more movement from Broodmothers recently with the new webs.
Okay, so we'll see how that works out here. You mentioned DK Phobos, like the one to expect to see it on here for Team Spirit. Obviously has that Omni Knight protection also to work with. on top of that. So Gyrocopter, though the 4th pick for Gambit Esports, going to take advantage of that Drow Ranger aura, no doubt, as well as just being quite the meta carry hero right now. You mentioned kind of looking at Dota buff a little bit and, seeing a recent history, at least for these teams. And I pulled it up myself, and you know what is kind of interesting? A couple of support heroes, the top picks for Gambit, actually, Undying and Tusk, as of recent history. We don't even see the bans, let alone being picked up right here. Undying especially, we haven't seen a lot of that hero this event. But again, kind of changing things up a little bit, going to Sand King instead, who definitely brings that reliable stun to the table. So perhaps
Gambit
later in the series.
had run both of those heroes in their No Creativity series, but it does feel to me like these two teams know each other. And I mean, I'm sure they do. Iceberg is a former Team Spirit player, so I'm sure that they have their own little mini meta developed within each other's like hero pool and whatnot. And so yeah, I think this will be just experimentation for right now from both teams, with the Gambit experimenting with the Drow Ranger and Spirit, what I consider to be experimentation with this Broodmother. They didn't run it in their Genting qualifiers as far as I know, although their Genting qualifier isn't ticketed, so it's possible that they may have run it, but I do know that they run a ton of Drow Ranger, so it's been snatched up, and I guess maybe Broodmother's a backup plan.
Yeah, it's a funny you bring up about Iceberg there specifically. Going into the lobby, even he's actually still even tagged up as Team Spirit.
Yeah,
in the,
which I had seen in another series that Gambit were playing, and I saw Iceberg and Spirit were scheduled to play the game after, and I was like, Iceberg, come on, man, your game's not until later. And then I looked back at the roster and I was like, oh yeah, he's not actually on them anymore.
Player swapping going on in Dota 2. There hasn't been any of that happening recently. No, not at all.
No, of course not.
There's been no big news that came out recently.
Consistency across the board.
Very consistent. So, no, a little bit of sarcasm there. But yeah, so swap things around. Beastmaster, final pick. I mean, Beastmaster, whenever you can get a final pick Beastmaster, I feel like that's actually a pretty strong finish. Not necessarily bringing the synergy with the Drow Ranger, but, I mean, I guess Minion kinda on top of that. But just does plenty as far as objective pushing, despite not being able to take advantage of that Drow Ranger aura. So, does provide Inner Beast, however.
Yeah, so that's the flip side. He's not a ranged hero, but whenever Beastmaster and Drow Ranger decide to finally hook up in the same lane, then they will... Drow Ranger, as it is already extremely strong at tower pushing, we all know that, but yeah, I imagine this Beastmaster... He's probably going to go for Inner Beast early on, but then again, whenever you have to go up against a Broodmother, sometimes you may consider the power of the Wild Axes, and in fact, like the lack of power from your creeps. I doubt that these two heroes will be laning against each other, the Broodmother and the Beastmaster, but Wild Axes is really good at just being able to burn down the Spiderlings, or rather the Spiderites. The Spiderlings probably have too much HP, but the Spiderites definitely, and Spirit are going to round out their draft with a mid DK.
All right, oh my god, and look at that skin he's using, by the way.
Right.
Honestly,
both the Brood and the DK both have the winner sets.
Yeah, the Brood's whatever, I don't really care. But Dragonite, that skin is badass, man. Like, looking at all the skins, personally, that's the one I would actually want to get the most out of all the treasures. So it just looks so freaking cool. So that just really, my excitement level is even so much higher now.
I haven't actually seen the dragon form of that. I've only seen the hero form, so I am curious.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I wonder if that's still the same or if they actually did that up a bit too. So, all right. Well, I'm sure we'll see it pretty quickly, shortly after he gets level 6 right there. But yeah, the Dragonite final pick. Let's talk about the actual purpose of the hero now, more than just the cosmetic. Does fit the theme, the same idea as that, again, kind of Broodmother objective push yourself. However, I don't know, it almost seems like they got a bit of a do the objectives kind of strategy, but they're going up against a Drow, Gyro, and a Beastmaster. I guess what I'm getting, are they going to be able to do it quicker, more efficiently than the other side? Was this the right idea that they went with, you think?
Well, until Gyrocopter decides to start moving around, Gambit don't really have the best counter push. The only thing that I have an issue with the DK pick is usually whenever you pick a Broodmother, she is great at just drawing an immense amount of focus from the enemy team. And especially when you've got a Drow Ranger that you've got to protect, then these supports will have to keep their eyes on this top lane constantly, because if Drow Ranger is left alone, then Broodmother is just going to eat her alive. whenever Team Spirit has a comp like that, usually you can get away with picking a very greedy mid laner, like a Shadow Fiend, which is something we've been seeing as now ILTW gets caught out near the bottom shrine area.
To battle.
But DK is not a hero that really needs that much help. In fact, DK is like the polar opposite. You never really need to help a DK. So I'm curious as to why they're going to be giving ILTW the most attention, because ILTW is going to be evidently what seems to be a one-position Omni Knight. So it's an odd draft from Spirit, definitely.
That is a good point. Wow, very interesting here. Running that, safe lane Omni Knight, essentially, who is now working off that early death, of course. Now, it's kind of interesting. He got first blooded here at the bottom lane by 5 heroes, actually. I was watching the whole roam happen the whole time.
They get 3 runes.
Exactly, but they get 3 runes. Shadow Demon actually just goes up and picks up the bottom rune. It's almost an oversight from Gambit. They kind of forgot about the whole contesting for the rune idea despite getting the hero kill. So, it's still good first blood for Gambit, of course, but it's kind of funny how that played out. But yeah, the safe lane Omni Knight.
Biver, mid lane, he's going to get this courier 1 smack, 2
Got it.
smacks.
That was on the way back, I assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it was.
That was actually pretty good because Iceberg got First Blood Gold, so it's a pretty likely thing that the courier is going to start getting sent out to this gyrocopter mid, but yeah, well played.
All right, we do see right here, though, it is going to be the aggressive tri-lane of the Drow, but again, you're doing this against a safe lane Omni Knight, which I don't know if ILTW was having the plans. I mean, the idea that he's building into the Arcane Boots first, that doesn't really tell too much, I guess, but I don't think he's going to be building a
Stout
core,
Shield,
really.
Mango, Salve. Yeah, he's definitely he knows that it's going to be difficult to find farm here. But again, like it seems like a weird order of priority because Biver's up here with a Broodmother. Beastmaster is a fairly good matchup against a Broodmother, but still, she doesn't really need a help, especially from an Earth Spirit who can't really do anything to zone out a Beastmaster.
Yeah, it really is not often you see a lane partner with a Broodmother. This is very rare, actually. So, but yeah, up here for now. Maybe this will be why going for the kill. No, just kind of rolls in and then it's like, all right, gotcha. Tag, you're it. Just kind of walks away. So, not much coming of that. Yeah, you gotta wonder. It's ultimately when it's enough. I mean, because again, he is leeching experience as well. So,
right,
definitely got to be careful about just ultimately sitting up here. If you're Biver, but now he's starting to rotate a little bit. Bottom lane, Witch Doctor definitely contesting the pull attempt, and they are going to steal the bounty rune as well at the bottom side. So, yeah, I mean, the bottom lane, of course, going to be one from the Dire team. Top lane, Beastmaster is still going to have a very good time himself. It's maybe going to be somewhat break-even. Then you got your middle matchup, Drow versus the DK. Right now, DK is actually winning CS-wise here in the middle. Is that surprising?
Every single time we see this DK with this Calling Blade, it's just like Iceberg has a full Wraith Band and a Fairy Fire, and he's dealing less damage than the DK, and that's not even counting the Quelling Blade. As now, oh man, Iceberg gets a courier of his own.
Yeah, that was Illidan though, completely missed micro in the courier. He almost it's almost like he forgot it was coming to him, and there was actually a couple of wards on there as well. So.
Let's see if we can get a turnaround, though.
That would be nice. 2 stacks of poison. 1 more should do it. Oh, cannot get it off. The Fairy Fire and Iceberg will actually survive. Now, Shadow Demon making sure to get out with a TP, and everyone else will be fine. So, yeah, close call on the turn, but, yeah, losing the courier right there. Getting a couple of wards on it, so setting Spirit behind slightly in the early game.
Yeah, and Gyro didn't even have any boots before that, so he just straight up saw an opportunity and seized it.
Cheshire Cat top lane. He's taking some good pressure
they're still spending a lot of time on this Beastmaster.
Yeah, they don't even have the incapacitating bite, though, from Broodmother, so as far as his right clicks goes, it's really not the most threatening, honestly, against him. So it continues to go back to, it's like maybe he's just ultimately softening him up for the eventual roam that we're seeing out of Shadow Demon, but he's back to full life. He popped a salve, and he's good to go. Now even Witch Doctor is going to be up here. So even if they try to go, expect Witch Doctor to throw in that cask and stop the attempted gank. So yeah, Spirit does feel a little bit confused in terms of what they want to do here.
Because even whenever there was that movement onto the gyrocopters, now Maledict comes out.
Oh, competing for that 4-minute bounty rune. Always want to fly. He is in trouble.
Oh, nice block.
Great block indeed. Gets the kill on a Witch Doctor still, but the Maledicт going to tick down Earth Spirit, however. An FNG, not much more. I'd say not much more you can do,
4
but
stacks.
it is adding up. Needs more
He
mana
doesn't
for
have
that
any more
fifth
mana.
one.
Yeah.
Even with it, though, at this point, it wouldn't matter. Little too tanky. So, ends up being the 1-for-1 clash there between the supports, really. Now 2-1 start for Gambit.
Now let's see where Biver chooses to go. I mean, he's still sticking around in this top lane area. He's moving towards mid now, but Gyrocopter has 3 points in Rocket Barrage. So you roll in, oh, or you may not even connect.
Well, bottom lane, I'm also seeing Omni Knight. He's in trouble. Pops the Repel, going to be body blocked somewhat. Doesn't have that Degen aura just yet either. He's actually holding onto a point, and he eventually is going to go down right there. So, yeah, not even really sure what that's about. Omni Knight's sitting on a point currently. You figure maybe get the point and repel right before he uses it, if anything, but no, he decides to just hold it for the time being, and ultimately does go down there. The lane disruption.
Nice. Another cancel.
Zanking doing his best to save his teammate. Gyrocopter going to run from the illusions that were created as well. The Shadow Poison 2-stack should not be enough. Repel put up on Shadow Demon, but the tower damage still going through that, of course, and finishing him off. So that was 4 heroes here for Team Spirit, and they end up losing one and don't get any out of it. So
yeah, it's so much effort dedicated to killing a Gyrocopter and not even finishing him off is a damn shame. I don't really know if Illidan like didn't have the mana for a Breathe Fire or something like that, but I don't know. Whatever the case, this Gyrocopter is getting away with a lot, and he has Phase Boots completed, which, as it is, Biver's already kind of struggling to make contact on this Gyrocopter. He's now in the top lane. Looks like Broodmother making moves on this Beastmaster.
He's got Primal Roar. Wonder if that can come into play right here, maybe to run. No, he's just going to go for the TP. Oh, man, that was actually somewhat close, it felt like, but not in time. The cask also coming a little bit late. And so they do actually successfully get the kill on the Beastmaster. And that's a pretty good one for Spirit. Now back to the middle lane. Then the call down on Illidan. Illidan's dropping right here on top of that Rocket Barrage. But ultimately going to stay alive for now, though. Big Num may want to change another Rocket Barrage, and Illidan will eventually fall. Great rotation from Big Num once again. Gets another kill, or gets the first kill on a Dragonite here of this game.
Man, Drow Ranger is so happy right now. You never get away with this much stuff as a Drow Ranger this early on. She's hit level 6, has 20 denies right now. Yeah, I mean, she has no issue. Right now, 3 heroes are still kind of, or not yet, but 3 heroes have just been spending so much time in this top lane on Team Spirit trying to bully out Beastmaster, and it's like a role reversal almost, because it's normally the Drow Ranger that's sucking up that much focus from the enemy team, but not this game.
Yeah, and even look at Omni Knight. He's really got nothing going. He's way behind all of the other cores in this game. Only 14-2 creep farm. Everyone else in the 30+ right here. But we do got to talk about Broodmother. I mean, for Spirit, that is the one saving grace right now,
we have
it feels
a wrap
like.
on the bot lane. Let's see if they can get Dahak.
Do they have the damage, though? It's a level 4 Omni Knight. There's a level 2 Purification. Here comes that expected TP. Cask throwing it. Does not bounce to the Omni. However, he needed that bounce. And the Shadow Poison not connecting, though. Doxok, he's still alive for the time being. There's 1 stack now of the Poison. That Degen Aura doing work, but he's hiding in the trees. Unfortunately, the Purification eventually happening. And will secure the kill. So, yeah, he chose to go for the cast down on Shadow Demon instead. And it did not get the lucky bounce. Iceberg middle lane, meanwhile. He'll follow the Elder Dragon form that is of DK. And now Sand King sticking around. Shadow Demon putting the disruption up, though. Boulder smash through. Big Num. Not enough mana for the Burrow Strike, actually. He's even going to be silenced up just in case. Does not have Sandstorm cooldown. And the Soul Catcher applied.
So it's going to mitigate a lot of this poison damage.
Ooh, took some creep damage. He cannot get that 5th stack up either. And you're right. Even with the rain drop, that might be enough to stay alive anyways. There you go. Ticks off, and he's just going to keep kiting for now.
But spots out Biver.
Uh-oh.
Another raindrop.
Kick it in. 4 more seconds. He'll have even another one. Nope, not going to matter. All right. They eventually chase him down. So, I mean, actually right there, I mean, Spirit they get not only the Gyro mid, but of course Drow just before that. And the
yeah, and now the Sand King. So 3 heroes dying. So Spirit are making some work happen. They've been leaving this Drow Ranger very unprotected by Gambit, and I mean, they were getting away with it early on, but you can't rely on that moving forward. There are 3 Radiant Wards on this bottom half of the map, so it seems like Spirit are recognizing now that Drow Ranger is going to become an issue, and once again, Earth Spirit has now joined the Shadow Demon and Omni Knight ganking squad at bot, but looks like this time Dahak suspects it. Yeah,
this time he's going to be a little bit too tentative, and he'll be fine.
Top lane.
Click at the vision up there. It's Brood. Put a web. Nope, it is Brood. From Aurora, locking him down, sets up the barrel strike. Any support? Omni Knight may be porting in. I'm not sure. Yeah, he is porting in. Can he get there in time? The Maledict's put up with the cast. DK Phobos looking to turn. No, now he's deciding to run away. Maledict, I don't think it's going to be enough. As, yeah, he'll be fine. Look at Sand King just sitting here on the sandstorm. Hoping to run.
Spiders are eating always on the fly.
Yeah, gonna get the kill on him, actually. With that Degenerer once again, even that level 1, plenty of slow to keep him nearby. And this goes back to what I was kind of touching on before action just continued to happen, really, but Broodmother, he is having a pretty damn good time at the top lane. He already has 1 Oblivion Staff, well on his way to that, actually, the early Orchid here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Orchid is an item that we actually don't see too frequently as a first pickup on Broodmother. More often than not, we've been seeing Desolator being picked up more frequently. Because, I mean, Broodmother is proven to be a very good pusher, but oftentimes whenever she hits tier 3s, she struggles very much because you don't really do enough damage with your spiders to be able to quickly take them down without enemy response. But Phobos actually opting for Orchid, and that's like not having a Storm Spirit on the enemy team or any other kind of critical silencing spells. Like most of these heroes on the side of Gambit, yeah, I mean, sure, a silence is always good, but it's not necessarily critical to get a kill on any of them.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point when you break it down like that. It's all the cores are not heroes so you like get that silence off and all of a sudden it takes
and
away.
They're all kind of manta builders as well, which means that the Orchid will perhaps lose efficacy. Like if the Broodmother was against the Omni Knight, then I could totally see an Orchid proving to be valuable. But if you have the Omni Knight on your team and like Drow Ranger's a manta builder, Gyrocopter's a manta builder, as now the mid tower is probably going to go down to Illidan as Gambit take bot tower.
Yeah, trading towers right here. Although bottom tower, they want to fight this Omni Knight. He's going to be TP'd in. The Boulder Smash done on the Witch Doctor. Cast going to delay somewhat, but definitely going to secure the kill as that Purification. More than enough damage. So they'll actually prevent the bottom tower from going down. They take mid themselves. And, I mean, this game has definitely shifted. It's almost like right on cue when we're just talking about all the cores doing very well for Gambit, how Drow's having that free farm, and then all of a sudden that rotation happens, and that one core kill after the other. Now they're getting the objectives more so than the other team. Spirit really has picked it up now, 12 minutes into this game.
Yeah, Gyrocopter is falling behind a little bit more than I expected, and now Bignum, he's almost certainly dead, especially now with an Urn tick as well.
Definitely taken out right there.
Yeah, these are not heroes that I would consider to be strong pushers. Illidan hasn't even gone into dragon form yet, but they're zoning everyone out. Always want to fly, get stunned.
As you mentioned, that dragon form. Auto attacks to follow, and Dragon Tail to lead. Easy kill on a Witch Doctor. So with the other dragon form, probably going to push the bottom tier 1 themselves. I mean, they're going up against a Drow lineup, and they're going to be up 3 tower kills to nothing right now if they get this bottom one. That in itself is pretty absurd.
It's valuable, but they need to be able to take advantage of the map control that it provides. Like, if you take all these towers, that's great, but you need to make sure that you continue to, like, plant your flag on the territory where this towers used to be, because otherwise Drow Ranger doesn't care. If she wins a team fight, which might happen now, as they're growing in on Illidan.
He's so greedy right here. They're going to stun LTW, though. Guardian Angel will come out. Illidan can be comfortable fighting someone. No, he's trying to run, actually. The repel even on top of that, though, so the call down not doing too much to him. LTW staying alive for the time being. The Purification heal, not enough to save the day, though. DK, he's definitely done it. Can he take somebody with him? Maybe the Sand King, the Boulder Smash hits. Great angle from Biver right there, so they do kill DK, but Biver at least getting something positive for the team. He's going to run away, but look at what's happening at the top lane, meanwhile. Phobos just continuing to put pressure. Top tier 2 tower. Already nearly half-life at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Phobos must have taken this Beastmaster by surprise with that Orchid, because Primal Roar was up, but Beastmaster died to Phobos solo while the rest of his team was fighting down bot, so it's helping him out, whatever the item choice it was, and another extended team fight by Spirit meant that no one could help out the Beastmaster up top.
Yeah, and Insatiable Hunger, very short cooldown, only 45 seconds, it's back up. I'm guessing he used it for that Beastmaster kill as well. I mentioned with the Orchid, he has the Medallion now coming along, so really heavily relying on this. I'm going to find somebody and kill them by myself. Stylo build. We'll go ahead and call it. Middle lane, Illidan. Okay, another call down with the Maledict. The Death Ward, they're using quite a bit right here to secure this one, and they will get it, though. Nice roam onto Illidan. So they're having trouble with the Broodmother, but they're starting to make plays on DK now. Back-to-back deaths for him. in this game.
I'm a little surprised that Gambit haven't really started grouping up yet. More often than not, like, whenever, especially now that Broodmother has claimed all your towers, does now always want to fly gets silenced. It's eaten by a bunch of spiders, which almost die to the axes, but not quite enough.
This is a funny game in the sense that we get about 30 seconds between kills, and then another kill is bound
this
to
is
happen.
action-packed as Miver is getting the loop-de-loop right now, but it's going to go down.
A little bit less than 30 seconds there, but yeah, they do take him out. But you just see the positioning of Spirit, how aggressive they are at 14 and a half, 15 minutes into this game. So far
which
out.
is exactly what I was hoping for. You take all these towers and you hem the enemy in. They haven't even really gotten close to the river in like a past 3 minutes or so. They got that kill on DK mid, but right now Gambit are all focused on their side of the map for the most part. Sand King is trying to farm up a Blink Dagger in the bot lane right now, but Drow Ranger is the one who needs to be farming, and she's kind of been circling around these Ancients. She does not take them nearly as quickly as someone like a Medusa or a Gyrocopter does, so I think it's because, like, I was expecting Gyrocopter to take these stacks, especially since he's lower net worth than the Drow Ranger, but it's possible that Gambit are like, we really need towers, we really need Drow Ranger to have this pike finished off so we can start getting some map control back.
Broodmother, they're picking at Roche. I mean, they want to do this, so there goes that Medallion debuff. Just got recently from the Brood. She pops Insatiable Hunger. I guess with that especially, this could be a pretty easy kill. And they scan it, so they definitely know Gambit that it's happening. But you mentioned the Blink Dagger still not finished on Sand King. He's trying to get it bottom. Without that, I don't know if they can really contest this.
No, you can toss a call down to scare them off, but it's not going to do anything. They're not even going to bother trying to kill this Witch Doctor, at least before the Roche is completed. They may be able to get him anyway, purified in the face.
Oh yeah, no, there was no chance he was surviving as soon as that Purge came out from
Demonic
Disruptor.
Purge, yeah.
Or I was calling him Disruptor every now and then because of that ability name. Anyways, bottom lane, Air Spirit. He gets counter stunned. The call down will help finish him off. He got his Magnetize up, but not going to get any turn kills, and they get the bottom tier too. So Gambit has something to at least smile
Dire
about
jungle.
there.
Let's see who. Oh, no roar coming out. It's Orchid. Kind of making life hard, and the soul burn is too much damage. Yo, this is action-packed, man. 26 kills in 16 minutes.
By the way, Shadow Demon is Bill. Just noticing this, he did max out the Shadow Poison first. So when you, and they're gonna steal these Ancients too. That is a massive stack that they're gonna take from Gambit Esports. So net worth actually is slightly ahead of Gambit right now, but it's probably gonna swing back in Spirit's favor here shortly. Once
wow, that's actually crazy. I
Yeah.
have no idea how Gambit have more. They have. They're down only one tower, and they didn't get the Roche, but somehow they're managing to find farm. That's pretty good. Bignum has now completed his Blink Dagger. I don't know if he's revealed it yet, but I don't really think that it's going to be that big of a deciding factor because Omni Knight has been playing so safe that ILTW will very quickly be able to counter-react to any initiation from Sand King.
So you see that level 2 Elder Dragon form. Doing damage to the tower. And he's going to do damage to Witch Doctor now. Jumps in with a new Blink Dagger of his. Boulder Smash Silence come on to Sand King. Call it down though. Zoning, doing quite a bit of damage, hitting multiple heroes. Broodmother finishes off the Sand King over with the sting right there. Cheshire Cat looking for the kill on Omni Knight, but the Guardian Angel will happen, and Cheshire Cat has to walk it off now as LTW throws out some purifications. They lost a DK though, as well as a Shadow Demon. They're going to lose Omni Knight. They went too far there. They went way beyond the tier 2 tower, in between tier 3, and that's that tunnel
whenever that
vision
fight
kicking in.
broke out, like I was under the impression that DK had received the Aegis. I didn't even consider the possibility that Broodmother got the Aegis, but they gave Phobos the Aegis. And Phobos was not going in. That was definitely the DK going in with his Blink Dagger onto the Witch Doctor and basically tanking 5 heroes. He had the Guardian Angel protection, sure, but there was a lot of magic damage coming in from Maledict once the Repel wore off, and it definitely felt like he was playing as if he had the Aegis.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because now that you mentioned that, it does seem odd how the decision-making right there, so perhaps on different pages, but Broodmother with that Aegis, we'll see if that eventually does come into play, but again, you see, very interesting also the fact that he went back to a Mask of Madness as essentially his kind of third somewhat bigger
it's all
item.
out of order. Like, Orchid
is.
was the first item, and then Medallion was the second item, and Mask of Madness is the third item. That's, like, totally reverted from the traditional builds. but it worked out. They got a lot of Orchid kills, and I guess now Phobos is interested in accelerating his farm. Since DK has kind of gone for this utility build with the Blink Dagger, it means that Illidan isn't necessarily going to be dealing as much damage, so Phobos picks up a Mask of Madness, and it's a good survivability item also. The lifesteal stacks fully with your Insatiable Hunger lifesteal, so each one of your attacks, you're getting like so much HP back.
The Desolator is what's really going to put this over the edge now. Not only for individual hero kills, but again, especially for pushing towers.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
On top of that here. So, working towards it now.
Also weird, because he had a Blightstone whenever he was attacking Roshan, and now it's not on the courier, so I'm guessing Phobos sold it. I don't know what's up with this build, but, you know.
Wait, no, he made a medallion.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry, you're right. Wait, but I thought they had a medallion and they were attacking Roche with the Blightstone. I could have sworn I remember seeing both.
Somebody else get it then? I'm not sure. Oh, Dragonite. No, wait, no. That was Omni-Knight. Omni-Knight actually has a full Solar's Crest.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so it must have been his medallion, and then Phobos turned it into another medallion, which is weird, but okay.
Oh, something. Okay, I want to bring this up too. Drow Ranger. Look at her item build. Not often we see a pretty quick Ags going for, but going for that here. And it does kind of make sense, though, right? Especially against the Broodmother.
It does, but going for it before the Maelstrom is a bit unconventional. Maelstrom, so I guess maybe like quite a while ago, I think it was a 6-point-something patch whenever Tesla Ranger was a thing, where you'd go Maelstrom as a farming accelerant, and then you'd immediately get a second item Aghanim Scepter. And it was very powerful, but it got nerfed somewhat in that Maelstrom originally did not have an internal cooldown on how frequently the lightning could proc. And so since all 3 of your arrows like land in pretty similar times, the nerf made it so that I think only like 2 out of your 3 arrows have an even possibility to proc a Maelstrom. And so it got nerfed a little bit, but it's still a viable build. It's just weird to go straight Aghanim Scepter without having any sort of on-hit effect that would roll for it, because that's the whole thing about it. Like, the spread arrow is great and all, but the main thing is that you have 3 chances to proc, or 3 chances to land, like a Scotty or a Desolator or something like that.
Oh.
They see Phobos.
Oh, that they do. Go back to him. The Primal Roar lockdown, and that's an easy kill, actually. He went away for a split second as they were jumping in, and go back, and he's dead. That was a very quick kill from Gambit right there. Taking back their jungle.
These spiders.
They would love the spider kills, too.
Oh, yeah. Cannon, shout out to Flat Cannon.
Holy crap. Yeah, the range of that ability is pretty ridiculous sometimes.
Yep. 1250. And it used to be that maybe the spiders would be able to evade because they would go into invisibility, but nope, they're always visible now, so if the attack starts on them, it's going to finish landing on them.
Alright, so Drow does finish the Ags. We'll start to see the impact now of what comes of that. Omni-Knight.
Oh, wow. And now she's going for a BKB. This is so weird. I guess I haven't seen Drow Aghanim Scepter in a while. The Maelstrom is still viable. It's just not as good as it used to be, but it's weird going for an Aghanim Scepter because Broodmother, she has like 1,000 different units, right? So like you get 2 more arrows. Okay, fine, you may kill a spider or 2, but I don't know, it feels like Dahak was like, I want to play Medusa, damn it, and you're gonna give me Medusa one way or another.
That's an interesting way to look at it, yeah. Medusa's a strong hero right now, so trying to do her best impression of that, you could argue, but yeah, going to BKB next. When she has that, sure, that'll be nice, but will it be the item that ultimately helps them really win this game? As I almost said comeback, but again, they have a 4,000 net worth lead. It's actually Gambit, the one you could argue is in the lead, looking at it just from that. But you see the top tier 3, it's already down to half-life here, so they're having to keep that in mind. But they do have 3 tower kills themselves. Of course, the bottom lane completely cleared out, and now pushing the base soon to come.
Yeah, tower status isn't really that important for Gambit right now, because if they manage to win a team fight, you've got Necrobook 3 on Cheshire Cat Beastmaster, you've got maxed out Inner Beast, like we already mentioned, you've got this Drow Ranger with the Aghanim Scepter, you've got Gyrocopter Flat Cannon. They are going to plow through towers at a ridiculous rate. as now Bignum kind of gets spotted out here. He has Burrow Strike in a few seconds, but he gets silenced.
Orchid will prevent that. Promo though on the Shadow Demon goes for the quick turn kill as Iceberg's now as well by the Guardian Angel in reaction. So it's one after the other. Now Cheshire Cat, it's his turn to run. Getting some nice Kaito. 4 staffed away. Drow's here joining the party now. Look at Broodmother just melt as soon as Drow gets there, especially. Iceberg credit for the kill, but IOTW did not have much left to help him out, and he will too go down as the death word connects. I gotta say, this way these last couple of fights have been looking, it does feel like Gambit's really starting to get something going now themselves. And
right,
it's
so
gonna be hard
two
to stop.
tiers up here are definitely gonna go down. Let's see if they feel like going for a third. The glyph, the 2 glyphs will stall them out, but you'll see as soon as the glyph goes down, tower lasts for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Top tower has fallen.
That goes down quickly. Jarrow with his own BKB finished.
Radiant's top tower
Drow's,
is under
again, is
attack.
coming. 1800 gold saved up. But yeah, this is, it just melts at tier 2.
Radiant's top tower
I mean, still
Yeah,
30
the Necro
seconds for Brood.
creeps- Yeah, the Necro Creep's timed out though, so I guess they're gonna hold off.
Okay.
They know that Roche is gonna spawn fairly soon, and they scouted out with the Courier's Path as he was delivering some items, but they'll hold off and wait for the next Roshan before they start pushing out to high ground.
They would have liked a very quick spawn, but that's not the case. It's going to be a good 2 minutes plus before Roshan's actually going to be up, so somewhat late spawn even.
Ooh, FNG. They're actually running away from him.
Shadow Demon's scary, man. Got that purge, and Bignum's like, wait a second, we can kill him. Let's go in. Disruption, we'll save him initially,
Yeah.
but
Spirit, no one from Spirit is gonna save FNG there.
they're like, you're on your own, buddy. They called his bluff, and it works out for Gambit. So he's there for 40, but again, Roshan, it's going to be a while before he's up, so they can't necessarily sneak that in. Instead, they're kind of just securing more control of the map. Going to take the middle tier 2. Double damage room, by the way,
Radiant's
bottled up
middle
on
tower is under
Gyrocopter. So
attack.
if a fight does break out, he can just
Radiant
pop that.
structures.
Oh, that's great. That's actually Cheshire Cat's bottle, so he handed it to Gyrocopter to store.
Oh, nice.
Radiant's
Yep,
middle
and there goes the
tower
tier
has
2.
fallen.
And this Gyrocopter, man, his farm just accelerated like crazy. 16,000 net worth. He actually has almost a butterfly now finished.
Yeah, and that was with it. That was with getting some of his ancients stolen by both Spirit and the Drow Ranger. So Iceberg is doing a fantastic job farming.
Yeah. Bottom lane. He's going to push it in. Looks like your Spirits wants to call pause. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a strap pause here. All right, guys. let's figure out what we want to do.
Roshan's probably gonna come up in like another minute. How are we gonna get over there?
Yeah, what do we do? Let's call say second. We're talking things through. No, but really, I mean, if you're Spirit, you're down 10,000 net worth now. Then this is not a makeup that screams, you know, let's just hold off. We got our anti-mage farming, and we can rely on him to take over because Brood doesn't necessarily.
Oh, she falls off.
Yeah.
She falls off hard.
She doesn't feel like she's going to bring that impact. Dragonite went heavy initiation early on with the blink dagger. So is he going to really be a big threat moving forward? It basically comes down to, yeah, Spirit's going to need to make some desperate maneuvers here, it feels like.
Yeah.
in the
Because
near
even their
future.
one position, ILTW has gone pure utility. He's gone Solar Crest, Mechanism, and turning it into a Greaves, but that's not going to come for a while. So it's not even like you have this super combat Radiance, Armlet, Saint Yasha Omni Knight. He's a keep your team alive Omni Knight. So where is the damage going to come from on Team Spirit?
Oh, Brood. He has damage. Desolator finished. A Solar Crest now going to be happening on him.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
again,
the
it's-
decision to go for 2 Solar Crests on this team, because, I mean, like, Omni Knight has completed his, Phobos is going for a full one of his, and this is as, like, his, what, 4th item now since he has completed the Desolator. I don't really think he needs anything like a BKB necessarily, but some other damage item, like, one item that I've considered would be very strong on Broodmother would be Nullifier, actually, because she farms it up so fast, and a lot of times it's items that you have trouble with. So Gyrocopter has completed a BKB, and if you're able to silence him and nullify him and make sure he's not able to get that BKB off, Iceberg looks very vulnerable.
Yeah.
But instead, going for a full Solar Crest, we'll see if it works. I mean, they'll be able to take Roche very, very quickly, that's for sure, but still.
Yeah, I was trying to think in like hindsight here, if you're Broodmother, almost something like a Radiance even too. Maybe would have been a more efficient tool this game because again, this build is just so set on I'm going to kill one target quickly, but
Right.
good luck finding Gambit
Radiant
spread out
are
now
scanning.
at this point of the game especially. So here's Roshan, knew it was coming. Just a matter of time, but again, Spirit, can they really contest this? Can they feel comfortable actually trying to fight this? But it goes back to they're going to need to make some plays, so maybe Repel's put up Dragon Knight. That's a way early initiation, though.
Oh, man, he used Tail on Roche.
Yeah, it's just panic right now for the side of Spirit, and Gambit's just going in. BKB popped by the Gyrocopter there to get the kill on the Shadow Demon in the backlands. Guardian Angel, that's going to have to be a reaction from Gambit now to fall back, or maybe not. Dragon Knight taking still plenty of damage himself, and the Death Ward helping to secure the job on him.
Boulder smash.
Yeah, it's kind of a minor victory there for Biver at least, but they're just still going to chase, of course, this Gambit. They're going to clean up here even. ILTW, can he somehow make it away? Gyrocopter, the axes will cut right through him. Down goes Brood. We knew they had to make a desperate move, but, man, they lose that fight 1-4. And they can just go back and finish Roshan now. Or just push tier 3, whichever one they feel like. And they're going for the base.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That jump, I mean, okay, I was going to say, they're going to call it GG, but again, that was that desperate maneuver that we were talking about. Dragon Knight, he had no vision inside the pit. He was probably figuring that it was just about dead, at least he was hoping. And, you know, maybe try to make a steal. That could have been a turn, but it ended up just going horrendous.
Yeah, I think itemization may have been the downfall for Team Spirit, because not even necessarily Broodmother specifically. I think like their team as a whole, like Omni Knight didn't go damage, DK went pure initiation, Earth Spirit didn't really go for utility. He went for initiation with his Blink Dagger, and Phobos, as we said earlier, had like a medley of items that were all over the place. But Gambit Esports had like a much more clear strategy in mind. They're like, all right, Dry Ranger, first you're going to finish off your Force Staff to make sure that this Broodmother can't ever kill you, which Phobos never was really in the same lane as Dahak anyway. And then Beastmaster, you get this Necroboke 3, and if we ever get a tower opportunity, then we're just going to take like 2 or almost 3 tiers so we can hold off. And Bignum was farming up his Sand King for the initiation. So Gambit overall played cleaner. I think Spirit, again, like they had a strategy in mind with the Broodmother, but it did not pan out at all.
It did not. So well played by Gambit as a team. And we got game number 2 now. Going to be happening here. 1-0 lead for Gambit Esports after the short break. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami here. Stay tuned, guys. The StarLadder I-League Invitational, Season number 4 CIS Qualifiers. We'll continue. Game number 2 coming up next.